This episode of Grilled is sponsored by Rationale, your leading provider in multifunctional hot food preparation equipment. Register now for a free Rationale live demo at www.rationale-online.com.
The Staff Canteen now has its own shop, so you can get your hands on as much merch as you want. From mugs, t-shirts to these hoodies, which you'll see myself and any of the guests on our podcast wearing throughout. Go and take a look. The link is below, and please do give us a thumbs up if you do decide to purchase anything. Finally, we are giving away one hoodie per episode for the next 6 episodes with my co-host, Daniel Clifford. You can find out how to win at the end of this podcast.
Welcome to the Staff Canteen podcast with Cara. Her language is terrible, but don't be offended. It's worth a listen because this day and age, everybody swears apart from myself.
Welcome to Grilled.
I want to eat under roast whenever I want to eat under roast, not when you want me to eat it.
I just remember Brad's smell of his beard. You just had a biggest, fluffiest beard, and I was like, God, he smells so good. I don't know why, it's weird. Sometimes you put smell or something to it, and I just remember that. Well, it's a bit bizarre.
Why are you in your chef's white cellar? You're working.
I'm cooking burgers.
Oh, burgers. I hope they're not McDonald's.
And I just lash it all over the hot toast as it melts and quickly munch it up, crunchy, crunchy, munchy.
Dying to get like a piece of your culinary penis in or around their mouth.
Welcome to Grilled, a podcast by the Staff Canteen. I'm Cara, editor of the Staff Canteen, and this is the 5th episode in the series of 6 with Daniel Clifford from Midsummer House. If you've missed any so far, they are all available to listen to now, and so are all of the other episodes from the other series. Daniel, we had a first last week. The podcast made it into the sun thanks to you and Mickey Mouse, didn't it?
And the Evening Standard, it went viral. Well, this week we're introducing a living legend that is Mr. Claude Bosi. I personally think he's cooking the best food in London at the present moment in time. So welcome, Claude.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this kind word, and very pleased to be here. Yeah,
Claude, welcome to Grilled. I have a few questions from the audience, and also me and Daniel will definitely put you under the spotlight a little bit as well. But first of all, I do have a question from our last podcast guest, who was Richard Bainbridge, and who, by the way, told me some excellent stories about Daniel. So no pressure, but I'm hoping you've got some good ones as well.
Yeah, I've got a few, but I don't know if we can talk about it.
No, we can't.
Oh, Daniel.
My name's Richard Bainbridge from Norwich, and my question is, what is your midnight snack for when you get home after a long day at work?
I love a bag of Haribos, Tangy's one. You know the sweet Haribo?
Mm-hmm.
The sharp tangy one. I love watching the TV at night with a bag of Haribos before.
Oh, do you?
I've got this addiction at the moment. I don't know what is it about. But yeah.
My front of house staff have a bag of Haribos behind the bar every night.
Do you know what? It's really weird. And I've got a little, at home, I'm at home now, we've got a little drawer with sweets for the kid and cakes and things like this. And my son tried to nick them last week. And I said, yes, they are mine. I said, but Daddy, we do share Haribo. I said, I do not share this one. No. Okay.
There's certain things we don't share.
No. It's few things. Haribo is definitely one. The rest, I'm not sure about.
Okay. Because Daniel, what did you say you used to have?
Well, it used to be cheese and salad cream sandwiches, but I've stopped eating when I get home now because.
Yeah, I do as well.
I'll be honest with you, I used to wake up every morning feeling absolute terrible. So now it's a cup of tea and a cigarette and off to bed. But it's funny. I do believe that as chefs, we work all day, miss our food, and then you get home at like 11:30, 12 o'clock. And by 1 o'clock in the morning, you're absolutely starving. But then as soon as you've eaten, you want to go to bed and you sleep on it. And I think that's where the weight comes. So I tried to cut that out.
Normally, I have a plate of cheese on a Saturday night. After the last service of the week, I will have a glass of wine and a nice plate of cheese from the cheese board and just enjoyed it. But as you say, on the weekday, most of the time when I'm at home, shower on bed, I think that's the best way to do it.
Well, we're getting older, Claude. We're not spring chickens anymore. That's the problem.
I know. This is not paint on my white on my hair.
The
It's
problem
actually natural color.
I don't know about you, but you phoned me last week and we were talking about a few things, and you said about your birthday, and then I started to think about mine. I think, geez, I'm 50 in 2 years' time. It's just absolutely crazy that this. And I'd have had Midsummer for 25 years at that point, and you stand there and you think to yourself, that's a quarter of my life just in a restaurant like that, and it's just insane that.
Good.
Yeah,
it's my 40th, like it was yesterday.
And it's funny because that conversation we were having, we were talking about our life outside of work, yeah, and we were both talking about the expectation of the customer, but also the expectation that we're putting on ourselves now, because I honestly believe that I've dedicated so much to the restaurant, but so little to my family, and my family are now, they're starting to appreciate the restaurant, but they also, they want more of my time, which I understand, and my kids are getting older, so it's
you know what?
harder to weigh it out.
But it's true, you realize your life is gone in between four walls, loads of people who are actually not your family, and you leave your family behind you, and it's tough.
I think we're very selfish in our approach, where we've put the restaurant first all of the time, and miss school parties, miss running, the sports, all these things. And my advice to a younger chef would be, make sure you don't miss them things, because you'll never get them back. And
but the truth is, you can never be where you are if you have worked part-time.
No.
So it's a balance in between what you want to achieve in life. But as you mentioned, we are 50. We've got a great team behind us. We are here as much as we can to be in, because you've got your name on the door, I've got my name on the door, and I want to be there. It's part of my life. But last week I was not there. Did the place run badly? No, I think the guys work even harder than they ever did, because they knew my situation. And I knew I could count on them. And I think we just need to realize what we want. And I said last week, I really hit me straight in the face. Like when you feel you could lose your wife, and we know it's going to be operation, everything will be fine, but it's really put you everything you're chasing, everything you try to achieve in life. Actually, at the end, you know what? I've got 3 beautiful kids. Like you've got 5 and a dog. But I've got 3 beautiful kids, a wife I love to bits. And what is really important in life? What is really important? And I love my job, and I will never give up on what I'm doing, but you do revise your life.
100%. The thing is I said to Cara before you came on that last week I phoned you, and I wasn't having the best of weeks. I was a little bit down, and the motivation, I needed a bit of a kick up the arse. And so you phone your friends when you need them 5 minutes. No, come on, get yourself back in it. And it's you, it's Sat, it's Tom. These are the people that I phone. But I after that conversation, I went home and I said, right, okay, for my 50th birthday, I'm going to take the month off and I'm going to celebrate properly, because I want to spend some time with my family. I want to do the things that I love, and it is time that Midsummer can run just as well when I'm not there as when I am there. Obviously, you want to be there, you love it, and it's
I don't want to be there.
It's your heart and soul. But I also feel that if I'm there too much now, I feel like I don't give the rest of the team time to grow, and I think that's. I used to be there at 8 o'clock every morning, and I'd be the last one out at night. But now, I don't go into 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I don't go straight into the kitchen. I sit down with the business manager and assess it a different way. And I think it's about growing up, isn't it? It's about realizing that passing a pea soup at 7:30 in the morning is not going to help the restaurant get any better.
No. And to be honest, I don't want to do this anymore. This is the point. I love my job, and absolutely love the life of the restaurant. And of course, you can never say, tomorrow I don't give a fuck, and it will be, one day is not going to be good, but it's fine, next day we can be better. I will never go to work thinking I don't want to be consistent, far away from it. But it's a line where you have to set up, and unfortunately I had to have a big hit in the face to set it up, but it's, yeah, I want to be the best and I don't change anything, and I want to use the staff and the team I've got behind it, make a better use of them, like you just said, let them grow and let them helping you to achieve what you want to achieve without have to be there, and give them some belief they can actually do it with or without you. I mean, Bocuse always say, people who are cooking are the same people cooking when I'm there than when I'm not there. And look at him. I mean, he managed to get 3-star for 50 something years, if it's not more. So I think sometimes you just feel like we are indispensable, but no one is. This is a side
No, I don't think that is the truth, isn't it? You know, the restaurant is the restaurant, and your family life is your family life. I think it's very difficult to get a balance, but if you can achieve it, you're the winner in everything, and I think that's the ultimate goal now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Okay, let's enjoy it more. I think it needs to be.
Yeah.
I think it's the point. We need to enjoy it more.
We need more boys trips away. That's what we need.
Oh yes. yes.
Only if you're going to tell those stories on the podcast.
Yeah. No, there's some, you know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if anyone can remember it, but you know, we've done lots together, we've been on some great adventures, but we've also done some things in London together, not like directly together, but weeks after each other and stuff like this. And the thing is, you learn about people, and true friends become true friends for a long period of time. You don't need to speak to them every week, but you know they're there
when you need
that's
to.
Important.
Yeah. You know they're there when you need to. That's what real friend is about.
And I think that's the strange thing in our industry. You know, my family doesn't really understand it, but I don't have any friends outside of the industry. They're all industry-based people, and it's
they're very similar for me. I've got a couple of friends, but not that much.
They're the people that understand me the most, and I think that's the best. You know, I've got a couple of a plumber here and a painter there, but they're all people who've done bits for me. Not they're not not school
they're
friends.
Not school friends. They're not school friends.
No, I don't want school friends. Probably most of those are arrested, but I'll be
No, they're not school. Definitely not school friends.
But.
I've got a question. Some of the questions from the audience, and I don't want to dwell on the fact that you're getting a bit older, but Elliot,
don't do it.
Chef G Townsend, he wanted to know, as younger chefs, we all look up to chefs like yourselves, but who do you look up to?
I think I've come to an age where I stopped looking at other people, and we just do our thing. I think when I was a younger chef, I was looking at people like, maybe chef I've been working with, like Passard or Ducasse. Or even I used to love my chef from Apprentissage, Léon de Lyon. Jean-Paul Lacombe used to have a restaurant with 2-star, but he had 9 or 10 bistro on the side. And I said to myself, I can still remember one day, I said to me, I want that. I want to be able to have loads of little bistro and have a fine dining restaurant and really run my life like this. But now when you see how hard it is to find staff, I don't know about this. But at the moment, there's no one really I look up to, because I think I arrive at a certain age now, is all they fucking dead to start on. Who's it dead? Or is not cooking anymore? Donc he's no one really. I mean, I used to love Sean Hill from the Michelin House, and I still love him, but he's somebody who, at his age, he's so passionate about his restaurant and his cooking. But no, I mean, that's it. I think we come to a life where I don't have any people that say, oh, I wish I was him. No, I'm happy with my life. Who I want to be like.
It's strange. I got asked this question last week because I've got over 1,000 cookery books, and they're in my house, and I haven't bought a book for about 6 years.
Oh, really?
I used to buy them like really regularly because I'd buy them, but I've never read any of them. They've all just sat on my shelves, and they were more like part of my. I don't know. I like collecting things, and I collected a lot of them. But the thing is I think it's strange. As you get older, you can, as a chef, you can taste combinations in your mouth before you've even put them on the plate. You can sort of work it out in your head. Oh, that's going to go with that because of that background flavour. Because your memory remembers how things taste. Like it remembers how light cheese taste. It remembers how artichoke tastes. It remembers all these things. And I think the end of the day is I don't think you look for inspiration. I think you want your food to be individual. And I think
I think this is it. I think that's why you stop looking at other people. You just do your own thing. And this is why I mean I had all these El Bulli cookbook but sometimes I like looking in that book. Look at this one. I mean, I've got the old.
He's going to bring out a copy of Hustler.
Look at this one, Daniel.
Yeah, I've got that one, chef. Yeah,
it's fucking brilliant. Some of the recipe inside of this is just amazing. And I've got all Laos, but no, I don't really. I just do my own thing now. And I think that's why we're happy with what we do. And
I think that's confidence, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called maturity or getting old, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Actually, sticking with cookbooks, I did want to talk to you about. I don't know if you've seen, but Elizabeth Hayes in the headlines a little bit at the minute because her book's being called back because of plagiarism issues.
Somebody sent me a link today.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Elizabeth herself at all. I just wanted to talk to you about plagiarism within the industry, and people are now saying that chefs don't write their own books anyway. They have ghost writers, etc., etc. So, what are your thoughts on that? Chefs writing their own books and falling into that unfortunate trap if someone has written it for you, not checking it correctly, and then you've got this horrible issue that's now going on social media.
Well, I think nowadays, look, chefs at our level are only ever going to do 1-2 books maximum because I've done it. It was a 4-year process. It's a love-hate relationship that you start, and then other things in the business come in that are more important, like your head chef leaves or your sous chef leaves, and you're in a situation where you've got to change it. And I think the end of the day is, unless it's your personality, there's no point doing it. And I think the end of the day is I think Instagram is amazing, but I also think for the younger generation, it's made young cooks think they're so much better than they are because they see all these pictures of restaurants abroad and they come in and they're in, oh, chef, we should try this, chef, we should try that. But the end of the day is there's still there's no better way of learning than stop looking at someone's previous pictures of food and go and work for them. Because I think the end of the day is you can't learn by looking at pictures. You're learning by watching the chef fillet the fish, watching the sauces being made, watch the desserts being made. It's books are lovely. I think they're great. I think you're stupid to get someone else to write it. If it's not your book, why should you put your name to it? I think the end of the day is personally, I think if you're going to write a book, it needs to come from your heart.
So you're telling the people that said on social media that chefs don't write their own cookbooks. I bloody wrote my cookbook. Thank you very much.
I wrote mine. I'll be honest with you. It was so honest. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you a story. It was so honest that it came out a week before Father's Day, and I gave it to my dad. And my dad, he hadn't seen it, and he took it home. He had a bath, and his missus started reading it. And when he got out of the bath, he came out. There was my book and 2 rings on top of the book. And she'd left him because in the book I'd written that he'd been married 5 times, and he'd only told her that he'd been married twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Sometimes, honesty is a good option. But
Happy Father's Day.
He's back with her now, so things are okay. But yeah, he had a rocky few weeks.
Yeah, I haven't done one. I don't fancy it.
You always said that you was going to do... you talked about yours having a top hat and what you was going to call it. You had so many names for your book at one point.
Yes.
What was it? Englishman.
An Englishman, a Frenchman in England, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and you were going to have a top hat. And will you do it?
You know what? I would one day, but I'm not in a rush to do one. I will not. I don't know why. Because maybe it is hard work to do a cookbook, and if you do want to do it properly, and maybe, write it myself. I can just have a speak English. Somebody will have to write it for me. That's sure. But And anybody say, "Oh, why you didn't do your book?" Just listen when I'm talking, you will understand. But the idea of it is, we'll do one day, but I'm not that in a rush.
Yeah.
The thing is we also talked about this last week, is that the chase for 3 stars is we sometimes you feel that restaurants don't change their menus because they want to be consistent in what they do. And I think the thing is, if you're still a hungry chef, you don't you change your menus as the seasons. You change your menus as things come into season. And I think your food style does change because it changes with the seasons. It changes the way that you're thinking, the way your travels. You know, you can go to France for a week and come back, and you're so inspired just by going to the farmer's market, just by going to a supermarket. You know, you see things in a French supermarket that makes, you know, the best producers in the UK turn upside down because this produce is so much better. And I think the end of the day is it's very difficult to write a book because your style changes all the time. And I think, you know, it's dated before it's even printed. That's what
it's true. But you're right. I mean, some of the dishes I was doing in Ludlow and some of the things we're doing now will be like 2 different worlds. And like you just said, I think it's bang on. We're going to do a book now, and in 2 years' time, we'll be out of fashion.
Yeah.
And do I want a cookbook who's going to be on my mum's fucking kitchen table for the rest of her life because she's going to have one every Christmas until I got rid of it? Not really. I've got more important thing in life to do than this. Yeah, that's why I didn't do any.
Well, it sounds like a great way to tell people stuff that they didn't already know, though, Daniel.
What in a
they
book?
Don't need to know. If they don't know,
they didn't need to know that, did they? Yeah. It's always I always drop my foot in it.
Right. I've got another question. From Chef Alex Standen, who is the best chef cooking in the UK right now?
To be honest, I haven't been taught in England for a while, but it's a tough one because I find they're all doing the same style of food, to be honest.
I think, if you want the truth from me, I think it's A1.
I haven't been to Andrew for ages.
I think I had... that is a style of food that no one else in the UK can copy. No one else can. He's a very intelligent man. I think his food is absolutely delicious. It's completely unique to the UK. And if you want your eyes opening, go to A1. That's what I would say. Yeah,
I mean, like I say, I haven't been to. I think the description, the way you say it, is the only really one to do his own style because where it is. Yeah, because they're all doing. They don't. It's not that many people, maybe because they're a bit young. It's not that many people who do their own thing, and this is a frustration. You can get good meal. You can listen. There's some good cook in this country. Don't get me wrong. But I would say, who said that is my own style and I do this? I didn't find that many, to be honest. And maybe I would be to upset a lot of people, but I don't give a fuck. No. Because truth hurts sometimes.
Massively. It's like that leaf mold, I don't know if everyone saw it, but on Instagram, that leaf mold where it looks like a leaf and it's a twill.
Yeah.
Fuck me, everyone's doing it, and it's
this
like
is
a rash, It's like a rash. One person tweets it, then suddenly the person who made that mold is getting inundated with, oh, can you make one for me? Can you make one for me? And the thing is everyone's food starts to look the same. And I think, I'll be honest with you, Cara, I think the most interesting thing I think I've ever heard is 1-star Michelin. The food is very, very good. There's no doubt about that. 2-star Michelin, you can tell each chef, if you put 15 1-star chefs in the kitchen, you'd ask them to cook a dish, you'd struggle to know which one cooked it. If you put 15 2-star chefs in a room and you had to blind test and tell you which of the dishes was which, I reckon personally, I could probably get 12 out of 15 right.
That's very interesting. I'd like to put that to the test, actually. I feel like that would be...
Because I honestly believe I could tell, we film, I shouldn't say this, but we filmed MasterChef this year. And I could tell one of the contestants was from Sats.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, that's because his food stands out a million miles. There's lots of people that copy it, but you can tell it's a Sat dish, 100%.
Yeah.
And I could tell if it was a Claude dish. I could tell if it was a Claire Smith dish. I could tell if it was a Story dish, an A Wong dish, or even Mark Birchall. You could tell they're a lot more cleaner, and they've got a very set way of working. And I think that's the thing is, restaurant like Claude, me, Todd, we've all the menu flows. Even when it gets to desserts, it's got the same detail, the same approach into desserts as it has the starters, and you can tell the chef. And I think that's about maturity, but it's also about being confident, because even when I got 2 stars for years, I wasn't confident after that. Every year the guide came out and I was like, fuck you now, here we go. Like, it's that 24 hours before, you're ringing everyone. Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? Your ass is falling out. What happens if you're trying to, are we going to be 1 star? Are we going to be 3 star? Are we going to stay at 2 star? I don't know. It's not until you get older that you start to.
Is there a Michelin WhatsApp group, Daniel?
No, because I ain't got time to do it. I think, to be honest with you, what I'm saying to you is now, I know my food is good enough. I know what we serve on a daily basis because I'm there all the time, and I know that we're at a very good level. And I think the end of the day is the day I don't want to do it is the day that, I'd hate to be one of those chefs that runs his restaurant, loses a star, carries on for a few years, loses another star, tries to sell the restaurant. That would be my worst nightmare. I'd much prefer to finish a decent level and say, right, jobs are good enough.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I mean, for mine, I would say last time was where I really feel confident is when I moved to Chelsea, where it's only 4 years ago. And before that, you just try every time, you try something, but you do have fun. Sometimes follow the pattern and follow the fashion. And this is what's happening in this country, and not just in this country, in love, but that's what's happening with a lot of young chefs who's looking for their path and do their own thing. And that's why, who's cooking the best food in this country at the moment? I don't know. Maybe I haven't tried enough, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I can't answer that because I haven't eaten out. But you can't taste food through your phone, can you? So you need to get out and eat it. That's the key to it. I think as a young chef, that was a priority for me. Yeah, working great restaurants, but also eating great restaurants. And I think you can go to the best 3 stars in the world and they're having bad days. And I've experienced that a lot. And I think the end of the day is I think eating out is just as important as spending time in the kitchen.
It sounds like as well, you keep coming back to kind of like social media and stuff. Do you think that because young chefs are constantly on social media without realizing they are creating the same food because they're looking at the same food every day?
I think they are too worried about, like, René's been #1 in the world again and 3 star. This is what to do to get it. That's the problem. I mean, when Marco was at this top, so many British chefs did. That's what Marco did to get 3 stars so quickly. Let's do this. And in France was the same with Joël Robuchon or Alain Ducasse. Remember when Alain Ducasse in '88 got 3 stars, or when Michel Guérard was doing dietetic food. Every restaurant was starting doing dietetic food. It's a normal path, and I think it comes from, would you say, early, be older, understanding exactly a bit what you want to do, and that great. You're not going to please everybody. You may be not going to get what you want to get, but at the end, you know what you do. When you look at yourself in a mirror, you can say, you know what, I didn't get this, but I'm doing the best I can, and it's mine. And I think this is a massive respect for any chef who are able to do this and not waking up tomorrow morning and say, I'm going to do this because René did it, and he don't have the produce, don't have the understanding, don't have the team behind it, don't have anything. But I think it's very similar. I go pick some chickweed in fucking next door to the garden. Next door was all the dog in the area has been pissing on it, and I will put it on a plate. But René do it. He got 3 star and best chef in the world. And the story, I pick everything from 2 miles from where I live. Please, Only one person can do this. Maybe 2 persons can do this. And the rest of the world need to believe. Stop this fucking bullshit about, I don't do this. Because it doesn't work. The world of gastronomy never worked like this. You work with the best produce you can get. And you get them where the fuck you can get them. But don't get me now. I'm getting the tomato from England because they're just starting to be ripe now. And they are the best. No, they're not the fucking best. It's finished. Let's be honest with each other and stop following trend and do what you want to do.
I got some Jerusalem artichokes in last week because everyone was telling me, oh, they're in season, they're in season, they're in season. We got 2 kilos in, peeled them, cooked them, and they tasted nothing. So realistically, what's the point in putting that on the menu until they've come into their full flavour? Surely you start with base ingredients. If the ingredients are brilliant, you don't need to do a lot to them. I think seasoning is a lost art in this country. I honestly believe that. I think I've eaten out quite a lot in the recent months, and because we can. And I don't know if it's because I had COVID and my palate's knackered, but my food seems to taste all right. But everywhere else I seem to go, I'm thinking that's not really seasoned because they're concentrating on how it looks, but they forget 30 seconds after that plate's put in front of you, you should better close your eyes and you should be close to orgasm. You'd be like, wow, 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 wow. But you're not getting that anymore. You're getting beautiful plates of food.
Look at the white truffle. White truffle has started. Some people has been voting white truffle. And I'm not going to say who. Some people has been voting white truffle in fucking September. They fucking come out. They fucking tasteless. They're expensive as hell. But it's white truffle. And now you see so many people using white truffle in early October, but anybody in the right mind knows white truffle doesn't start now. Yes, the season's been a bit weak, but they still come out of the ground, but they still have no flavor because they're not ready. And this is the understanding of produce. And I produce like this, I work with my supplier. He can sell me white truffle if I want to now, it's no problem. But I will say to him, are they good? He said, not really. I said, well, sell them to the others. I wait, you tell me when they're ready. And that is the way it's working. That's the way we should be working, not because somebody did it on his menu and got 3-star, 2-star, whatever how many stars he's got. And you think, oh yeah, if he's doing it, it means they're good. No, it doesn't mean anything. It means he don't know his fucking season. That's what he knows. Yeah. That's all it is.
A question from the Calabash tree. Who spent the most on Snack Masters? It was Shreddies, right? That you two did together?
No question.
That was me.
Is Daniel?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. Sure. Daniel.
I spent I spent $2,500 over budget. It was like crazy. It was like the problem is. But the problem is, he probably spent 500 quid. Yeah, I think I spent about 7.
No, 500, 800 max.
Yeah, I think I spent £7,000.
No.
Yeah.
Daniel. And did my 500 to 700 pound I bought money was also buying the packet when I came to the end of the show. Well,
I've still got tumble dryers and fucking machines everywhere. My storeroom's full of crap. It's just, do you know?
How was doing Snack Masters together?
Oh, a good laugh.
It was
very stressful.
There is no one in the world that I would work harder to beat than him.
He did beat me. He did beat me.
And I'll be honest with you, I knew it was going to be fun. I knew it was going to be a challenge. I didn't think on day 2 he told me he'd done it. So that was like, right, heads down now, 24 hours a day. I've got to get on this. And I think it's a real shame that they don't show all the process because you have some crazy moments doing that, like really, really crazy moments.
Yeah, no, that one was a hard one. Fuck. Yeah, that one was the hardest one. You know, I got Burger King came to see me last week, 2 weeks ago.
They asked me that. I had that as well.
You tried the new one?
Yeah, the gourmet burger. They offered me 20,000 to go to the launch.
Yeah, I said no, I couldn't do it.
No, I can't do it. But yeah,
I couldn't do it.
I enjoyed it, but the thing is look, Cara, you do not in this industry. You do not get the opportunity to focus on one thing for that amount of time. So what things like Snack Masters does is it teaches you that if you really work on one thing, you can perfect it. You can, but the thing is, creative people, it's difficult to keep your mind on track on that one thing because there's 100 other things. You know, halfway through that, grouse is coming into season. Halfway through that, this is coming into season, and you're like, right, okay, shreddies have to wait. But the thing is,
to be honest, his shreddies was actually fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, Claude.
The one Daniel did was really not as good as mine, of course.
No,
but
you're fucking packet.
But the one he did was really fantastic. I think what killed us on that day is when what's his name? Fred said to Daniel,
See, the thing
you
is,
just win by
it,
default. You just win by
so what
default.
happened is they did the trophy and all this, and then they tried to get us to go back into the kitchen. Yeah, so we walked back in the kitchen, and Fred stood us both there. They don't show this bit, but they stood us there, and Fred basically told us both off. Yeah.
Yes.
He told us
Like
both
kids.
off, and he said, "Well, okay, well, you know, realistically, there isn't really a winner here. Daniel's won by default." Yeah.
I think Daniel was going to punch him in the face.
Can you imagine that default? Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I drove home. I was fucking raging like a raging.
I know
bull.
you called me twice. On the way down.
But
you didn't kick any more bins, did you,
to
Daniel?
finish the story. So he tells us we've won by default, and he says, "Okay, well, I think we're going to have another competition." Yeah. I'm like, "No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done." Claude's like, "No. And then Claude thinks of the money, and he's like, "Okay." And then they turn around, and they say, "Okay, you two can choose the snack." So we're standing there for 2 minutes having a conversation, and like Claude says, "Oh, sausage roll," and I'm like, I remember when he opened Hibiscus in London, he did this sausage roll. Yeah, it was like renowned, like it was the best sausage roll in London at that point. And I said, "No, I'm not doing sausage rolls because he's 95% there." Yeah. So I said salted peanuts, and they all looked at me. And I said, "Yeah, okay, salted peanuts, I will do. And that's the only snack I'll do." And we haven't been invited back, so that sort of.
I don't know if they're going to redo it again. I don't think so. I don't know if they're going to. Nah, no way. Well, the money, they have to change the money.
Yeah, massively. Yeah, I've got to make a bit of profit. I can't be throwing money down. I can't be stuck with molds like my dad keeps on making. But yeah.
Yeah. No, you have to change
I think that. I'll be honest with you. That's the only bonus that I have. Is my dad is very creative as well, and he can make things like that. And the problem is he makes a beautiful mold, but the problem is you can't get the damn shreddy out of it. So yeah.
That was a payback from your book, Daniel.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, Daniel, Claude, how did you two first meet? And you know, how has your relationship then developed to what it is now? Because like you said, Daniel, you people become your friends, don't you, within the industry?
Well, Claude won 2 stars in Ludlow.
Was it the same year than you, Daniel? Same year than you, no? Same year than you?
No, you got it 2 years before me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the same year.
You got it. Then the next year, Andrew got it. And then the next year, I got it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And, I went to eat. Because obviously it's, you know, the new 2-star, you've got to go and see what's happening if you want to get to that level. Went up to Ludlow. It was, you talk about food that is unique, and I hadn't seen anything like this. This was cooking that England hadn't seen. It was unique, like so unique. It was like, wow, it's like going to a different country unique. And then we've met at awards. We're both very, very good friends with Sat. Sat is like the negotiator of the trouble. And then, to be honest with you, Sat's 40th birthday, we all got together. Then Tom and my 40th birthday.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, we've stayed friends ever since. And I think that, you know, we've been to a few countries. We did an amazing trip around Copenhagen, where we went to.
I remember that. That was good.
And like lunch and dinner in all these great restaurants. And that's when we all found Twitter, and we sat at the pub.
I met Twitter for the first time.
Yeah. It's the first time we introduced Claude to Twitter, and we sat in a pub in Copenhagen and we were all just DMing, we were all messaging each other sitting in a pub, messaging each other on Twitter. And we're like, well, we're fucking sitting in the same room here, yeah? But the end of the day is it was all new to us, yeah? So it was like kids again, I suppose. I think that's the nice thing is when you go out to eat with people that's level-minded and the same theory as you, it's bizarre and interesting how they approach. And like we went to a freestyle in Paris, and
five of us,
and you're so excited about going. It's like this is
like kids,
and it wasn't great, was it? And you get the Eurostar over in the morning, and you're so excited. And this restaurant was number one. You remember that other list,
La Liste,
the French one. And it was number one on that list, and we all like looked at the food. I remember Tom's starter was an artichoke soup with shaved truffle, and it was like 90 quid, and we all looked at it like, that's £90 for a bowl of soup, yeah. And
it was a bit of a. But you know what the thing is? I think with the success of our relationship is when you're all together, no one think is better than each other.
No, never.
At the end, we come back to a point where we stopped school at 15. We've gone working, and we always remember where we come from. We started from a chic kitchen with no hot cupboard, an oven who was a place to keep our hot plates, and we started from scratch. And I think that's why I make us so good friends, because we've got the same foundation. You have an issue when people have been giving everything on a silver tray and forget the base, forget where they come from. And that's why we have a group of friends. That is even including Jason, where, you know what, we just actually just cook. We don't think we're saving life. We don't think we're reinventing the world. We're just putting food on the plate. That is meat and free veg. If you're lucky, and if you come in France, it's only meat. There's no veg. But that's it. That's why I think we are such a good friend. Is we don't really take ourselves seriously. Sometimes we should have took ourselves seriously, but we didn't. And I think that's why we're good friends.
But we protect each other as well. And I think the end of the day is when we've got good staff, we swap them between each other. And I think it's a lifelong friendship. It's not a friendship that you need. It's not a high maintenance friendship. It's a friendship that you enjoy their company when you're with them. And if you're in London, you pop in for a coffee, that means everything, because it is. It's lovely. And I think that's the point, is this industry has given me my best friends, and it's given me some people that I will spend, even after the days of Midsummer's finished, I will carry on seeing them and carrying out for lunch, because the end of the day is they're amazing characters, and I still learn every day from them. Like, you ring Sat up and sometimes he's like an encyclopedia of crazy ideas, but it's just, you can listen to these people talking all day, because you think to yourself, I'm learning stuff every day. And it's like Jason, you speak to Jason, there's not a better person to get business advice off than Jason. He's if there's a man that knows how to turn something into profit, it's Jason. So it's there is no attitude or no if Pat got 3 stars this year, I know for a fact Claude and myself and Tom, we would drive there on that day with champagne, and you probably wouldn't hear from me for a week.
Yeah, maybe I know we'd be the same on every side, and this is why. I mean, Tom is somebody very special to me. Sad, Daniel. It's 4 or 5 of us where we'll go anywhere with them, and they say, okay, we do this, and I will say, I'm in, without checking my diary. And that's it. After I think people sometimes are taking themselves too seriously, or think to try to be something they are not, and I've got problem with this.
Yeah, that's
what makes me a miserable Frenchman. That's what my wife said to me. My wife said, Claude is such a miserable cunt. But this is what I am, and I don't like people who think they just. I hate reunion. I hate events, because I hate talking to people who actually don't give a fuck. Life is too short.
I don't really like people. I've said that before. I actually, I think my work's so social that when I'm off, my house is like a castle, and once I'm in it, I don't like even when the postman knocks, I don't really like it. So to have close friends that are in the industry, that, you know, I'd never ask Claude how to make something or ask Sat how to do something, but going out for lunch with them, it's like, it's the best feeling in the world, because it's like, you can go to Meat Liquor in London and have the best experience because you're having a laugh with your mates. There was a big drinking culture 10 years ago, but now we've all cut that finished.
You're drinking tea when you go to bed.
Yeah. Cups of tea now. It's but we've all moved on.
Cups of tea and Haribo.
We've all had,
that's it. That's us now.
We've all got, you know, it's bizarre. It's a lovely friendship.
Yeah.
So, Claude, what's your best story of Daniel that people may not have heard? I want one that hasn't been put out there.
The best story of Daniel is seeing him on his knee. He wanted to be a chef de partie again.
Yeah, I remember that night very clearly.
It was him and I, a few of us on his knees. I don't know. Maybe was he drunk? I'm not sure if he was drunk.
No, it was when we were at the Cube. We were launching the Cube.
And he said, I just want to be a chef de partie again and cook. I don't want to be head chef. Let me be a chef de partie. That's what it is.
We'd been up all day. We were launching the Cube, and I'm not a big drinker anyway. And it's got to be 12 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And we'd been launching the Cube, which was done by Electrolux, and we all had weeks of slots. And back then, Sat could really drink, like I mean, really, really drink. And he was a big man, and going out for a drink with Sat meant you were going to have a bad week. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was absolutely done. And I walked to the toilet, but couldn't find the toilet. And I bumped into Claude and Sat, and I basically just got down on my knees and just said, I'm sick of being a head chef. I don't want the shit. I just want to be a chef de partie again. I just want to cook. And they both just stood there and laughed at me and laughed. But I was deadly serious. I was like, well, just employ me then. But
you can start on Wednesday, Daniel.
Yeah.
Still feel the same.
Quite good on the meat.
Start on one. You'll be on the meat. I think you'll be good on the meat.
I think, you know, Sat's birthday was fancy dress. And when you see some, because the problem is, you know, they're not just your friends. These are people that you've looked at from a distance a long time, and that all of our food is so different. All of it, Sat, Claude's, mine, Tom's, Jason's. It's so different, and I think that's the nice thing, is that we're good friends because, and there's so many funny stories, too many. Like my 40th birthday, you know, I don't think there'll ever be a party like that again. But I think, we had.
In 2 years' time.
Oh yeah, I've got to save up for it first, chef. But yeah, it was a party of. Can you imagine being in a field, a 12-hour party with 300 chefs, and every single, like, you know, some of the best chefs in the world are there.
I can't think of anything worse, Daniel.
I'll be honest with you. At that time in my life, I thought it was absolutely amazing. I remember Tom saying to me at the end of the party, the next one's going to be in Monaco. I was like, really? And I think the bar bill each for me and Tom was 25 grand a person.
Wow.
And
it was a great moment.
It was a great party, yeah. But it was probably the party of parties. Yeah, we've been through a lot of great times together, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
So, what's your favourite story of Claude then, Daniel?
Well, I remember we did a night in London together. I can't remember what the occasion was, but I was doing the starter course. Andrew Farley was doing the fish course.
It was at the restaurant. Was there hibiscus?
It was hibiscus, yeah. And Sat was doing a course. Paul from Copenhagen was doing a course, and Claude was doing a course, and I was up first, yeah. And I took Mark and a couple of the other lads down, and we did our dish, and Heston was eating, and Heston's mum was eating, and it was like a really big night, and we were all like, yeah, we were having a laugh, but we'd been out for a coffee and a beer before. And Claude used to have this up and down pass, yeah, near the stairs to go down. And I went over to Ian, who was his head chef at that time. I said, Ian, where can I go for a cigarette? He said, Daniel, the only place you can go is downstairs and out the door, yeah? He said, but you won't Claude won't let you go. I said, what? He said, no, Claude won't let you go for a cigarette. I said, fuck off here, let me go for a cigarette. So I went up to Claude and I said, like a little boy, like a little boy. Like, please, sir, please, Claude, can I go for a... No. He said, if you open that parcel, I'll chuck you down the fucking stairs. It's like, really? I turned around to Ian and he said, yeah, he means it. Like, okay, I've quit smoking. Job done.
Yeah.
But
remember the event we did in Ladlo for Ladlo Food Festival?
I lost my T-shirt that night. Oh God, is that when?
When we cook for 120
in a field.
In a field on the tent.
Oh,
that was a big.
Well. So Claude invited me. I was meant to be doing a demo in Ludlow, and Claude said to me, "Would you like to do a dinner?" So yeah, I'd love to do a dinner, Claude. Yeah, and he gave me the main course. Now I understand why. He did this poached cod dish, which it was being poached in butter or something, and it was over there, all beautifully done. And I had two boys with me, like pushing properly, doing midsummer food in a tent. And we were doing 3 dishes each. So for some bizarre reason, he did the starter, I did the next course, I did the main course, he did the next course, I did the next course, and he finished with dessert. But I had 2 courses in a row. Yeah? So I was like, sort of like, we're in a tent, we're really in the shit here. I need to send some of my first dishes before I can send my second. And the waiters came in, 2 lamb away. Claude, can I send that? No, not yet. 4 lamb away. Claude, can I send that? No, not yet. Like 16 lamb away. Claude, I need to send some food now, yeah? Because I've got, no, you'll send it when I'm ready. I'm looking around to my boys and I'm like, we're in the shit here, yeah? We're going to have to really go. And the thing is, when you're working with Claude, you sort of, he becomes the chef. He's the chef of the room. There's no other man that I know that can dominate a kitchen like he can. And I'll be honest with you, I revert. Maybe it's because I got what I wish for. I turn into a chef de partie. Yes, chef. At the end of the day, my dream has come true. I am a chef de partie again. So the is, yeah. So I've been offered to be thrown down the stairs, and I've been
been the shit under an umbrella.
I remember afterwards that everyone said to me, "Oh, there's a party. Do you want to come?" I was like, "No, I need to go to bed. I'm absolutely exhausted." I was done. It was just like, but you know, that's what real friends are, aren't they? They keep you on your toes, and I think that's really, really important.
Interesting here you say that about Claude, considering the last podcast we did, which was with Richard Bainbridge, who said the same about you.
Yeah.
So, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? But that's a respect thing, isn't it? It's one of those things that you look up to people, and if you're in their environment, you work their way. You just quit smoking. But
yeah, it was for your own health. I did that. Are you still smoking, Daniel?
See, the problem is he can do it so straight-faced that you actually believe that he actually really cares about your health.
Always.
Whilst I've got you both. We touched on this before we actually started, Daniel, and that was Michelin and accolades and things. And obviously, Claude, you said, you know, there is sometimes you need to realise there are more important things in life. And after the past 18 months, how are you both feeling about guides and accolades now? They're starting to come back to life a bit. You know, we've got 50 Best, we've had restaurant awards, Hardens. You know,
what? Who did you say?
Hardens.
I don't. Does he still doing books? I thought
yeah,
I saw Toilet Roll.
They're releasing a bit. You probably.
I thought the Toilet Paper changed my name. I had Toilet Paper with that name. I thought it was a new brand after. Shit.
I love them. I love Hardens.
Oh yeah. Some people need to. They find one. I'm glad we found one.
Oh god.
I thought they was doing toilet paper. Honestly, I thought they stopped writing.
It's Andrex, chef.
Zandrex. Sorry,
yeah,
I thought it was Hardens. Shit, I thought it was Hardens. Sorry about this. I got confused. Sorry, Mr. Harden. I didn't mean your book was shite. I didn't mean that. Please do not keep this in a book.
Anyway, guidebooks.
Peter
But
Arden,
yeah, how are you feeling about them now, having lived without them for, like I said, we missed a year, didn't we, really, after everything that went on? So how would you feel about them now?
I mean, to be honest, on my side, I haven't changed. As important as ever. I think they show consistency, they show quality. I mean, I'm joking around with Ardens. My view of them is different than some others, but they are important. They put us on the side of some others, and they show quality and consistency. This is why I care the most. After, they've got different grade, and of course, we always want more. But my view of them has never changed. I would say they are as important as they was 18 months ago, 2 years ago. Is this what I'm getting up in the morning now? No, it's not. It's definitely not. The view have changed because we've gone through financial difficulty with business, and I think loads of people did. And you want to make sure the customer are coming back, and you can reorganize yourself because you don't have enough staff. But do I think I'm doing this? Hopefully the guide like it. Not anymore. I'm doing this because I think it's good for my business. But they are definitely important for me.
Okay. Daniel?
Yeah, I agree with Claude 110%. I still think they've got their place. I think they distinguish. I would use Michelin to travel around the world. It's probably the only one I would use. I book holidays around the guidebook. I'm quite a boring person. I don't like the beach. I like to go to Italy or France or Spain, and I will go to a restaurant just to eat. I think Michelin's more consistent than the 50 best, if you want the honest truth. The 50 best, I find that's a bizarre list. I can't help but say it, but if you want the honest truth from me, and I will be honest because I try to be, there's some very weird inclusions on that list, and I can't really work it out. But I've been to a few of the launch parties for that, and I honestly do believe. I'm not going to say exactly what came into my mind then, but that's very much who sucks who off gets to the top, and I think that's. I'm not prepared to do any cocksucking, so I will never be on that list.
You're too old for that now, Daniel.
No, I think last time I did like a conversation with Claude, I proved what I liked. So.
Oh God.
No, I think days. I think Michelin. I think the Michelin guide is the guide, and I think the days is still the one that chefs want to be in. I think the rest of them have slightly. We've lost the good food guide. The AA guide is. I think it's important, but it doesn't seem to have the same following that the Michelin guide does. And the Michelin guide's consistent. If you go to a 3-star in this country or France or Singapore, you're guaranteed that it's going to be a mind-blowing meal. So yeah, I think it's important.
It's like the good food guide, and I hope you come back. I mean, it's one of these guys who's been going on for 75 years, I think, 65 years. And in the countryside, I don't know in London, but in the countryside, people in the countryside do like the good food guide.
Yeah.
And he bring a different type of customer. And I mean, I know Elizabeth Carter was doing a great job. I knew James Wolf before, who used to do a fantastic job. And he's been very consistent. And they don't really care if they how famous you are or whatever it is. They will judge you for what they think is right and what the customer is right, okay?
When I first started cooking in this country, the two guidebooks that you inspired to be was the Michelin and the Relais Chateau, yeah? And they didn't really go together. Country house hotels were massive when I started cooking in this country. And if they were in the Relais Chateau, it was like, so, an ambition of mine was to to be a part of the Relais Chateau, and we joined. And it was a shame because it didn't make a massive impact and change. It wasn't financially viable for Midsummer to stay in it. But the Michelin guide, I'll be honest with you, it's strange because COVID's hit, and we have a big Asian marketplace in Cambridge. I would say on a Friday and a Saturday, I would say a good 35 to 40% of our guests are from that part of the world. And we'd missed them during COVID. We didn't see any of them, but now they're starting to come back. And they only come to us because of the Michelin Guide. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And I think the end of the day is it does put bums on seats. It definitely attracts customers. And, you know, you've got two chefs sitting in front of you, Cara, that would, you know, we both want 3 stars. There's no doubt about it. We both want that. We want to finish our careers at that level because the end of the day it's.
But it's not, at the end, it's not a decision. You know, we can say as much as we want to. At the end, we're not deciding for this. This
no,
is
it's
why
not our decision. We can just cook what we want to cook, and
that's
one day, if they give it to us, we're both very happy.
Yeah.
But business is business, isn't it? I think that's the thing. The older you get, the more you realise that it's not about the place you put it on. It's not about the cutlery. It is about the service. It's about the attention to detail. It's about the quality of the produce, the best vintages of wine. It's about giving people an amazing experience. And the end of the day is that's what gets us out of bed in the morning.
Yes.
Well, fingers crossed for the next guide. You can both get 3 stars and you can both
So
retire.
I'm more upset that they've stopped printing it than anything. That's the thing that I think has upset me, because you know something, it was one of those things that you bought every year because you were proud to be in it. And I think the year that they stopped doing it, it was quite upsetting, because I've got every year that we were ever in it, and I'm quite sentimental, so I'm sort of like, you know, when I'm gone, my grandchildren would be looking at that saying, oh, you know, my granddad was a great chef, but obviously he stopped cooking in 2019.
I've got a final question. If you could be a Disney character, what would it be?
I'd be Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse is taken.
I think I will be. You know what? I think I will put you at Tiger. Because you can't stand still. I think you will be Tiger, Daniel.
That would be Ratatouille.
Daniel will be ill. I will be. My wife telling me I will be ill. No, I'm not. I'm not the donkey.
Ill?
No, I don't want to be. Yeah, the fucking donkey with the droppy ears. I'm not him. I will be Mowgli. I like Mowgli. In Jungle Book.
Mowgli, yes. I like that.
In my pants, no shoes, no t-shirt. I'm happy. I will be Mowgli.
Okay.
Brilliant. Right, I'm going to let you both go. Thank you both so much. It's been brilliant to chat to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Cara. Thank you very much. Thank you.
See you soon, mate.
See you. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.